All right, let's dive into a pretty powerful idea, one that might just change how you think about, well, how you think. What if your unique way of seeing the world isn't just different, but it's exactly what the future needs? Let's get into it.
So let me just start with a question. Have you ever been in a meeting, maybe in a classroom, and someone, a teacher, a boss, has kind of labeled you as distracted? You know, your mind is jumping from one idea to the next, connecting things that nobody else seems to get?
Or what about this one? Unfocused. Oof, that's a heavy word, isn't it? It's a label that kind of implies you're not trying, or you just don't have the discipline. For a lot of us, words like these have followed us around. But what if they're not the whole story? Not even close.
To really get to the bottom of this, we have to look at the world we were all raised in. I like to call it the world of straight lines, and we're about to see why these systems can feel like such an awkward fit for so many incredibly brilliant people.
Just think about it for a second. Most of our big institutions, schools, companies, they're all designed for this idea of straight line development. You pick a major, you master it. You get on a career path, you just climb that ladder, one rung at a time. It's predictable, it's organized, and it's very, very linear.
And this really brings us to the main event. On one side, you've got that linear development we're all familiar with. Straight path, go deep into one single thing. But then there's this other model, nonlinear development. This is about exploring in all directions, mashing up different ideas, and actually getting energized by complexity. And it's not that one is better than the other, it's just about recognizing they're two totally different ways of operating. So this leads to a really important question. What happens when you take a mind that's built to branch out and connect everything, and you stick it in a system that only rewards moving in a straight line? Well, you get friction, right? You get a ton of misunderstanding, and yeah, that's where you get those labels. Distracted, unfocused. But what if those labels are just wrong? What if we could reframe that whole experience? It's time to discover the cognitive blueprints of what we're going to call the non-linear thinker.
So what exactly is a nonlinear thinker? Well, it's not someone who's broken or has a deficit. It's someone whose brain is literally wired for breadth and for connection. This is a mind that doesn't just go from point A to point B. Oh no, it's visiting A, then C, then jumping over to F and Z, all at the same time, always looking for those hidden links between things.
And you know, this way of thinking comes with some serious superpowers. Seriously, you start to see patterns that other people just walk right past. You're the person who connects an idea from, say, ancient history to a new tech startup. You adapt to change super fast, not because you're scattered, but because you've already been thinking about all the other possibilities. You don't just put up with complexity, you actually thrive on it. And this is the most important part. So let's just let this sink in. It is not a lack of focus, it's a completely different kind of focus. Think of it like having a wide-angle lens instead of a microscope. Both are incredibly valuable, but they're designed to see the world in totally different ways.
Okay, so if this is you, if this is your cognitive style, what does it mean for your future? Well, this is where it gets really exciting, because your mind isn't just different. It might actually be the perfect blueprint for innovation in the world we're heading into.
I absolutely love this. Just think about that for a second. That feeling of being scattered that you might have felt your whole life, that's not a bug in your system. That is the system. It's the operating system that was purpose-built to run the most important app of all, innovation. And why does that matter so much right now? Well, because the biggest challenges we're facing, everything from climate change to AI, they aren't straight-line problems. They are massively complex, interconnected systems, and solving them is going to take creativity, adaptability, and that rare ability to connect the dots. In other words, it's going to take the skills of a non-linear thinker. So what can you actually do with all this? Well, first, start by changing the words you use. You're not unfocused, you're exploratory. Second, stop trying to cram yourself into those rigid linear boxes. Go find the messy problems, the flexible jobs, the environments where your big picture thinking is a huge asset, not a liability. And finally, and maybe most importantly, trust that gut feeling. Trust your incredible ability to connect ideas that nobody else sees. So, let's just end on this thought. For a long time, the world might have been telling you how you're supposed to think. But the truth is, your mind has a unique perspective on the world. A perspective that's becoming more valuable every single day. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build with that vision?